Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Samira and today we are making Kenkey. Yes, Kenkey. This soft, malleable, palatable Kenkey. Okay, so if you want to know how I achieve this soft, Kenkey, malleable. When you say malleable, like, a saw. Some Kenkey, they don't saw. They will never saw for you. They'll break like this. Pain, 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 pain. That's not what we are doing. We are doing proper Kenkey. Just say, yes, it's a Kenkey party today. Okay. So I want you to join me, okay, as I take you through how I make my homemade Kenkey. I'm not a gown, but I try. That is why I'm called Bezalea. Okay. Find out the meaning of that. Maybe see me in my chambers and I'll tell you, okay? So we're having it with all this beautiful, delicious accompaniment. There's red pepper, there's green chili sauce, there is turkey, what is it called? There's corned beef, there is domino, chofi, there's sardine, there's chibom, there is pakalami, 1,000, there is everything. Just this Kenkey party is going to be super, right? So stay with me. I'm going to just make the domino and the turkey, which is the chofi, with you today. The rest of it today, we're just going to serve it. Okay. So I want you to stay with me and I'm going to show you step by step how I make this Kenkey. And also you can tell me when you have your Kenkey. Okay, I'll tell you about that. When do you have Kenkey? When? In what situation do you eat Kenkey? Okay. So now this is my corn dough, right? So one of the key things when you want to make Kenkey is that your corn dough should be super fermented. If you want that soft, malleable texture, your corn dough has to be very, very fermented. If it's not fermented enough, it's going to be some waste for you, I tell you, right? So I have measured my corn dough and it's 3 kilograms. So 3 kilograms, I'm going to use 2 kilograms for the dry part and then 1 kilogram for the banku, or for the Aflata, as the guys will call it. Okay, so we're going to make the banku to mix with this one. So here what I'm doing is that I'm breaking the lumps apart and making it into flour. Okay, that is another key of getting that consistency. If you mix this with water so that it all breaks up, then you don't really get it. You get some, but it doesn't, give you the authentic, the one that you get from the Kenkey house. Okay, so I have put my 2 kilograms of corn dough aside, which is like 2 parts of what I'm using. So I'm using 3 parts. 1 part is what I'm dissolving right now in water, or I'm mixing it with water, and the 2 parts is what is sitting aside there smiling at us right now. So I've added my salt and make sure that there's enough salt to be able to taste, right? Because don't forget you're going to mix it with the dry corn dough. Okay, so you set it on fire and you're going to form like the banku with it. We are going to make the banku, and that shouldn't take long. It shouldn't take more than, mine didn't take 10 minutes. It took me like 5 to 6 7 minutes at most. We are not cooking it for it to cook through and through. No, we just want it to form this dough, and it has to be very soft. So as you can see, it is so soft, right? You can't eat it on its own. So I'm just scooping it and adding it to my dry corn dough. So yeah, here I'm going to be mixing, try and combine the dry and the banku together. Okay, so what it is it's so hot, right? So what I do, I start with my bankuta or my spatula or wooden spoon, whatever. Then I go in with my hands, as you see. But what I do, I scoop a lot of the dry one, which is cold, and mix it with little portions of the hot banku. That way, like, I can mix it. So what I'm doing, I'm looking out for a little bit of lumps so that I can crush it as I go along. And at some point, what I'm going to be doing is I'll just sort of stir it with the wooden spoon again, with the bankuta again, like as you see me do now. Then I will go in with my hands again to make sure that, like, I don't have any lumps. But what happens is they dissolve anyway. Okay, so once it is all mixed together to your satisfaction, I'm happy with it now. You cover it. Okay, you cover it and you set it aside overnight. So that is another key. That is one little tiny tip or tiny minute detail that people always forget when they are making their own banku, because the Kenkey house, they mix it the day before, they set it aside, and then before they mold it, or they mold it and they let it sit before they cook it. So here I'm dealing with my corn husk or my corn leaf. This is what we are going to mold the Kenkey with. What I've done is I'm using hot water here. This is about 90 degrees Celsius, right? So I'm able to handle it, right? And then I've put in some vinegar. I leave it there for a good 5 to 6 hours. The whole day was just sitting there because I wasn't going to make my Kenkey balls now, right? So I leave it to sit for a long time. Then I come in, then work on the leaves, so I have to, tear it up. I remove it. The corn has individuals. Hey, there are some crying. Okay, as you see me do, just take it out from them. It's like, let me leave it there, just as you see me do. Okay, again, once I've removed all the corn husk into individuals like that, I put it in another bowl to keep washing it. I just wash it with vinegar. This is vinegar solution. Okay, then when I'm happy with it, I'll add some more and then let it sit for a bit. Then it's ready to go. So you have to wash it as much as you can, because these Kenkey leaves, we don't know where they have come from, right? It goes to places. So as you see, I add some more vinegar and I let it sit in until I'm ready to mold my balls, my Kenkey balls. Then I get it out of the water. Okay. So it's the next day, and I'm checking to see if there are any lumps or anything. And now I'm kind of happy. I can see that I can't find anything anywhere. So the forming of the balls, you can see that my mixture is super soft. So you need to, I don't know, apply water, put your hands in water before you deal with it. Otherwise, they will stick to your hands. So you just take a piece of the corn leaves or corn husk, then you put some portion. I just bear in mind that they swell. When you cook them, they'll swell. So you can make them into smaller portions to get a normal size. Okay, a normal size. This one, it became very, very big because I was just scooping big. I wanted to finish. I was in like, not my bread. And bread. I did it so that to finish. I got 10 balls in all, but I could have gotten like about 15 or maybe probably 20 because they were so big. Okay. So yeah, so as you see, just try and cover it, and I'll just go through it again, I think, with you, how it is done. So you scoop some of it. Well, I didn't, so that is it. Just follow what I did in it. So here, for the avoidance of doubt, right, I'm putting some black peppercorns in the middle of my Kenkey. Okay, and then I'm going to put another tiny slim corn husk in the middle, so that I can identify which one I have put the peppercorns in. Okay, then I'll cook it. This is for you to know that this is exactly the Kenkey that I have made. So just for the avoidance of doubt, really, that is all, right? So I'm going to add another one where I'm going to put popcorn kernels in it as well, right? Okay, then I'll just cover it and put it aside, and I'll put another corn husk for me to identify it easily when it's cooked. Okay, so that we'll open it and you will see, the texture of the Kenkey to see whether it's turned out good or not. You don't want it to turn out good for people to think, did she make it herself? Is she sure? Sometimes these things, it pops into people's head, but then that is why I said for the avoidance of doubt. So here I'm going to mold the last one for you to see with pieces of the corn husk. Previously I used 2 big pieces, but you can use small pieces to just get it all, to cover all the sides of it. Then you just turn it around, and then you twist the end, and then you find an opening and push it in. It's that easy. This is not rocket science, and it gets better. You get better the more and more you do it. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do is just to cook our Kenkey. So you can do this on the first day that you make your mixture, the banku and the dry mixture. No, you can do the first day and leave it till the following day before you cook it, or you leave the mixture the following day, then you mold it. Either way, It's good, right? So here I've got some extra corn husk that I'm putting in my saucepan, because sometimes they can bend. The kenkey can bend through the husk into the kenkey. It's possible. I've seen that so many times, right? Okay, growing up, I lived in a kenkey house. There's a woman who lived in my house who made kenkey. I was friends with them, so sometimes I go there and I sit around and I see what they are doing. Once or twice I have molded with them, but not. I didn't do it very often. Okay, so I add some water to my kenkey. Now that it's arranged in the saucepan, add some water to the kenkey, like enough to cover it all. Then I'll cover it with a kitchen foil. Normally they use a plastic bag, but I thought a kitchen foil will serve me better here. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to be cooking this for 2 hours. I cooked it for 2 hours. Halfway through, I'll come back to see how it's going. You see that halfway through, the exterior will be cooked and the interior, the middle, will not be very cooked. So you don't get deceived, okay? So here I'm going to be making my chofi. So these are the ingredients I'm going to use to cook my chofi, to boil it before, to steam it before I fry it. Okay, so the ingredients, as you saw it listed up there, so I didn't have to go through with you. So this is my chofi, then I pour it onto it. I have actually a recipe on chofi on my channel down here, like this one or the other one. Yeah, so I just boil it for a few minutes. You don't let it cook, right? Just boil it. You add some salt to taste. Boil it for a few minutes, then you just take it out and fry, because you're going to be fried, double cooking. So if you let this one cook completely, yeah, it's like you're cooking it too much. It's taking on bread. Ah, anyway, so you fry it for it to be crispy or soft, however you want it. Then you take it out. So the next one is we're going to make the domino. Very simple. You just get some pork, right? So this is the pork shoulder, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm seasoning with black pepper, only black pepper and some olive oil. I'm not adding salt, because we are going to be using the suya pepper, which is the chichinga pepper, right? And that one has got salt in it. So it's, if you add salt, your domino will be too salty. So I don't add salt. We're just trying to reduce our salt intake. So I just pop it in the oven, slow cook it for about an hour, and then it was ready. Then ready for us to cut it, and for us to add it to our kenkey party. Look at how I chewed this thing. Me no. When I finished, I was full. Chai. So I was asking, how do you like your kenkey, right? So the reason why, not how, when do you eat kenkey? The reason I'm asking this is that one day, right, like Ghana, um our culture, when you have food, you get food, you're going to eat, you call the person, so come, let's eat. Like, what to me, oh Brian Didi, not necessarily for you to go and eat, it's just to like, I don't know why we do that, but some people come and eat, but not always, right? So here I'm adding my soya pepper to my domido, and you can see that it's ready, and you can see that I'm still eating this thing. Okay, so we go on and go and check if our kenkey is, this is like an hour into it, and you can see that it looks good, it's soft, but it is not cooked. You have to let it cook more, right? So we'll leave it for it to cook for another hour, and then we'll come back. You see that now the kenkey is looking good. Obviously I had to add more water, because I thought the water had like a lot of it had evaporated. Wonder where it went. I had covered this thing with kitchen foil. Okay, so 2 hours later, look at the kenkey, how the kenkey is so soft. It's like the kenkey is super soft and it's so malleable, right? So as I was saying, someone bought their kenkey and came to sit beside my mother under a tree in the compound house. And they were like, Madam, what to me? Like, Madam, please, we called my mother Madam, because she was the teacher. What to me? Come and let's eat. Right. So here, I've let the kenkey cool down a bit. I normally don't like it so hot, otherwise I can't handle it. So I've let it cool down a bit, okay? And I'm now bringing it out, right? So right now, what I'm doing is I'm looking for the one that I put things in, okay? So yeah, you see, I was looking for the one with the thing hanging on the bottom. So I found them, and we are going to be opening it for you to see how it looks like. Okay, so this is the kenkey that we cooked. So I'm opening it, looking for, you see that the center middle, my camera didn't capture it well, but you see it. See, the middle is gone dark. You see the kenkey, the black peppercorns in there, and it has discolored. It's edible. It's very edible, because black pepper is good for your health, isn't it? So look at the kenkey. Look at how nice and soft it's malleable. This is like the kind of kenkey you get from the best kenkey houses. You see, I'm not bringing my own house. It's just that I'm just proud of myself that I've made the kenkey. Please, people, leave me alone, okay? Let me be, okay? So this is the other one, and this is the one with the popcorn kernels. And as you can see, I thought the popcorn would be cooked and be soft. It didn't mind me cry. The way I was ready to chew this popcorn kernels, it didn't mind me cry. So I had to take them out and put them in the bin anyway. So you can see the kenkey. Look at how soft. Look at how malleable it is. So I'll show you the following day how the kenkey was like the following day after it's cooled down. It was still like we just cooked it, right? So yeah, so that is the kenkey for you, right? So we'll just move on to the following day for you to see how it also look, and I'll show you how I normally warm my kenkey. So when the kenkey is like the following day, what you have to do is to just either boil it in water, or you can put it in the freezer bag, add a little bit of water and pop it in the microwave for like 2 minutes, and it will warm up for you. Okay, so this is the next day, and you see everything is gone cold, and you see me testing how soft it still is, and then how I warm it and for us to eat it. So this person said, "Oh, madam, what to me, Oyendidi?" Then from what my mother said, we all wanted to hide. She's like, me didn't hear me and I made it okuno. We are like, "Mom, now must you say that? Like if you eat the cake, must you say that you only eat kenkey when you are broke or when you don't have money? Or like when you sort of like what kind of life is that?" Like we all wanted to disappear. My mom, oh God, she was like, whatever she wants to say, she says it. She won't even think about how you're going to feel. Anyway, she was like, me didn't hear me and I need the document. Mindy. She was like, Mindy, hear me and I need the document. That's why I'm asking, when do you eat kenkey? Do you eat kenkey because like, you love it? I eat kenkey because I adore kenkey. I love kenkey. I don't eat kenkey because hear me, Debbie. But when do you eat kenkey? Do you eat kenkey because you don't have anything to eat, or because you like it, or because it's like that is the only available food? Let me know in the comment below, right? Okay, so this is the kenkey that I have warmed the following day. Okay, I have warmed it and it's hot. As you can see, it burned me small, and you can see that it is nice and still soft. That is day 2 of the kenkey, right? And I'm going to use some of this for ice kenkey. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. Yeah. Come on, baby. So yeah, I am glad you joined me today. I'm glad that I've been able to share how I make my gakenkey with you. Okay, so please, if you like what you see, please like my video. Please subscribe if you haven't. To all returning subscribers, welcome once again, and God bless you for always sticking by me. Right, I am so grateful for your constant support. Right, so I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.